Ba 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 ba. Greetings and salutations, travelers. It is I, your humble, artful bard, here coming to you live with a special stream of our session 0 for Dark Souls 2 Dirge of Drangleic. Uh, Souls Reborn was like our previous campaign, which I guess it's a new trend that we start campaigns that are like successors to old ones that we didn't stream. First was Spelljammer, then was Keepers, and now this. So yeah, for the time being, we are going to be having a bit of a session 0. We'll be discussing our characters, uh, what all we can expect from the world. Uh, just remember, uh, any rules, care shenaniganry that we have in our D&D games. This is our home table, and any rules that we have are ours specifically. So, no need to type in, oh, this isn't how this works, or that's not how this goes. Number two, this is a game inspired by the events of Dark Souls 2. Now, it doesn't follow the story of the game beat for beat, so there is going to be a lot of things different. So, yeah, keep that in mind, and also no spoilers for Dark Souls 2, or any shoutouts to any characters, because I have been sworn to secrecy. See, as I have played Dark Souls 2, so I'm not spilling any beans for that. So yeah, currently the party is, well, having a bit of a break before we start the session of our session 0, and we should be good to go in a few minutes, and I shall open up the floodgates in a moment. So sit back, relax, enjoy your favorite tasty beverage and snack of choice, and we should be good to go in a bit.
More
Yeah.
actually noble you are, the less you have to act it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I think that's more so just in the eccentricities and him just being him rather than and like actually like being like a fucking haughty ass noble, like like fucking yeah. You get what I mean, right?
He's him?
Oh
No.
Lord, this is what I. Okay, so I unmuted at the perfect time, I suppose.
He's him. He will
Why
continue to
why
be
is
him. He has
Valencia
been him
hiding
and he will
behind
continue to
AR?
be him.
Why is
Hold on.
Valencia hiding behind Atlas?
What do you say, Jericho? What were you saying?
I was just saying he is him. He's been him and he will continue to be him.
You know, I'm going to kill you. What's it called? Also, sorry if I'm a little bit slow to answer. I'm setting up everyone's reactive images now that everybody's on call.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Fair enough.
Also, send me
'cause
the
I have
link
to
to
do
them as well because I wanted to have them on stream
Yeah,
as well.
give me a second. I'm still like
Oh,
having everyone's stuff. What's it called? Obviously, haven't had Valencia's images yet, but again, no rush on putting that out.
What if
Katya?
that's just a token?
I'm almost finished drawing it, but yes, for now, that's gonna be the token.
That's the
A.
best token.
I'll be done by the end of, like, I'll be done within an hour, I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
Keep the
that's
egg.
fine.
I say
but,
that as I should switch to mine.
illustration here we go. But with that being said, if everybody's here, I think we can begin our short, quick session 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first of all, everybody, welcome to Dark Souls 2, Dirge of Drangleic. Well, we're just calling it Dark Souls Dirge of Drangleic, not 2, because it's gonna be confusing for the audience. Because again, in a outstanding, an outstanding bit of recurrent elements in our channel. We don't ever record the first fucking part of the campaign. So
I literally
Yeah.
gave the audience the blurb at the start of the stream, so.
You know, I never noticed. I never noticed that we never do the. I mean, well,
Yeah.
what if Fate's a mold breaker.
Yeah, face the mold
Yeah.
breaker. That's the
I mean,
old.
technically, it is still a spiritual successor to something. So, that,
what's it called? I mean,
I mean, hey, at least anyone watching the stream didn't have to deal with like a year-long hiatus in between.
Yeah.
oh fuck, I would have killed the channel. I think. What's it called?
break between because of the break between Dark that we had in Dark Souls.
What's it called? That being said, though, we're back, like we never left for, because this is being done directly after the end of the previous campaign. What's it called? So, what's it called? Right now, obviously, we've already discussed a bunch of stuff out of the game. We've discussed character backstories, to some extent. We've discussed some of the mechanics that we're going to be using, world building that I've been posting in the Discord server over the past couple of months. What's it called? We've been doing a lot of stuff. What's it called? But obviously, we haven't properly sit down to make the session 0 happen. I do have a checklist of stuff that I want to touch upon. That a lot of this is going to come down to the reaction is probably going to be Vorti. What the fuck are you saying? We've been playing for like 5 years. What's it called? But it is important, I think, for whenever we start a new campaign. I think it's going to get some of these things out of the way.
yeah, it's very important. Like, there are some things that need to be just restated over and over and over again because it's important to clear those out.
Exactly. So let's go down the checklist in a bit. Thank you, Start Playing, for providing this checklist document. Actually, was it Start Playing or MCDM? I think it was MCDM.
Yeah, MCDM, because I found it on the. I think you found it on the friggin' Patreon or what have you, and then you
Probably
sent it to me, and I
I
forgot
sent it
it.
to a lot of people. What's it called? But so first of all, we all love role-playing games. Specifically tabletop role-playing games, which is what we're doing right now. What's
Virtual.
it called? when we all have things that we love about those role-playing games that we play, you know, out of the things that we love, what would you all want to see in this campaign? What is the thing you love about RPGs that you want to see here? It could be exploration, combat, roleplay, puzzles, uh, anything to add, or maybe like more specific elements like tropes that you really like and you gravitate towards. Anything really. Let's go down the list here. I guess I'm going by order of play order in the game. So, Jericho, you're up first.
Number one, actively try to kill us. Don't fucking pull your punches, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And number two, kissable NPCs.
I mean, that's a priority, I guess.
That is a priority. That's my main thing here.
I mean,
Hey,
that's what I want.
I promise. At least, I promise that those 2 points at least will be partially completed in this campaign. I can't say which ones though. What was it called?
Listen, I'm a simple player. You put stuff in front of me, and I'll play around with it. I guess like also just like kind of like on like a more serious point. I guess like because obviously all of our characters have their own motivations that they are going around doing. I think like trying to set a clear direction is always important. Like, not necessarily railroading, but also there's too much stigma around railroading. Like, you can guide us to specific places in like a specific order if if you want to, even if that railroad is constructed to go through our character points, that's still, like a clear direction, I think. Because I think at times in Dark Souls 1, there were times where we were just standing around being like, now what? I guess, Seath? What do you guys think, Seath? But, yeah, I think that's important. But also mainly kissable NPCs. And also kill
Okay.
us.
Well, I wrote this down as a romance and combat challenge. So what was it called? No, I did actually write down kissable NPCs and
Yeah,
and kill them.
I would have hoped so.
No, what was it called? What's it called? All right. So yeah, combat challenge, kissable NPCs. And direction, clear guides and instructions. Instructions not clear, they're caught in ceiling. What's it called? All right, next one down the player list here. Bard. What do you like about RPGs that you like seeing in campaigns?
well, something that I like in RPGs, uh, yeah, like Jericho said, having some direction for us, cause something that I've heard from other DMs who have seen the railroad slash freeform sandbox shenaniganry. Uh, there is a trope that well, not a trope, a friggin' saying I've heard. I can't remember who said it first, but it went something like this: railroads can always lead to roller coasters if you give it enough attention. And also, something that I also liked, friggin' downtime shenaniganry, because, well, that's something that, let's be real, we didn't really have much because, well, the nature of the first campaign and all, but I kind of like how we get we gather around the campfire singing campfire song, uh and take a breather after beating up bandit bandit group number 78 or dragon 16, uh and saving princess number 3. Yeah, we get time to like breathe a little bit, see how our characters are doing, and have some air character shenaniganry, and also yeah, more fun NPCs, and also don't hesitate to kill us, mofo. Don't try to nerf us. If we if we die, we die. So what? We make up a new character sheet, I guess. That's my 2 cents for it.
I mean, hey, yeah, I think downtime, breathing time for like breathing space rather, I guess, for interactions, is is something that was kind of lacking in the first one due to the nature of the campaign. Um, okay, I should not have opened that chat at the moment. What's it called?
Why did you open it?
I don't know.
You literally
I don't know.
I typed the fucking content warning.
No.
You knew what this was.
I figured I knew who the character was gonna be, even with the fucking image spoiler. But anyway, of him being horny. No, it's more so I just idly press the fucking Discord channels when I'm not doing much. What's it called? Anyway,
That's being recorded.
what's it called? This is being recorded. Doesn't feel great, does it? Hey, that is like what? 1 to like 30. You'll catch up eventually.
We really did just catch fucking Vorti in like
Okay.
Like activities. I already said that I was thinking of having segments where just like a bit of peace, I guess, because you guys are playing in a context where the world isn't like fucked yet. Like it's still Dark Souls. Like don't get me wrong. Like world isn't like all sunshine and rainbows. Just because. I guess I'll go over the world primer as it were in a bit, but like there's still inklings, there's still falling civilizations, there's still a degree of oppression, there is still like the undead curse is like a looming threat in the horizon.
Video game events.
Exactly, like it's not like really like fucked just yet. At least mine wasn't recorded.
Yeah.
That you know of.
Yeah,
What's it called?
Yeah, for me, it's like when it comes to stuff for the game, it's like, yeah, I feel like it'll be more fun like having the option to basically like as mentioned, like look around, explore the world, interact with NPCs and stuff, like more interaction, basically like just more interaction with the world overall. I feel like that would definitely be more like add more fun to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, yeah. On that note, Rav is. What do you like about RPGs that you want to see more of?
Basically, for me, it's just like I mentioned, it's interacting with the world, coming up with unique solutions to problems and all of that, and just interacting with the players, the NPCs, and everything else. Because combat's fun and everything else, but as I said, it's like if you wanted to play a game where you go around and murder anything, just play an RPG video game. Tabletops are for interactions, and then coming up and thinking outside the box. Combat's nice.
Okay,
Yeah, combat's nice to have now and
more...
again to break things up, but it's like interactions are where fun, the true fun.
You recording your combos, motherfucker? No. Or rather, what do you like to know?
You can't double back.
I haven't actually.
Double back.
What do you mean?
I haven't actually. That's clarified.
You like to know, Weather Boy.
You have me on record saying that I haven't actually. What's it called? But hey, you could by technicality say that the human mind is one of the world's most funkiest recorders. And what's it called? Hey, it'd be like that sometimes. At any rate, what's it called? Yeah, interaction with the world, unique solutions to problems, out of the box thinking. You already know me and my DMing style. You know that I reward that sort of like interactivity with the world, that sort of out of the box thinkings. For looking solutions for problems, be them in or out of the combat, as it were. Obviously, a lot of the times that results in me having to work around a particular change of plan, so to speak. But it's less of a problem for me, as it's more of a concern of, if you guys are having fun doing what you're doing in game.
Yeah, like totally
What's it
not
called?
using divine intervention to negate a boss fight and actually rolling it.
I mean, hey, be like that sometimes.
Look, I'm
What's it
sorry
called?
for cheesing your boss fight, but still.
Cheesing a boss fight more than it was just like outright negating it.
I mean,
Hey,
tomato, tomato, I suppose, on my end.
what's it called? Next down the list, Nathan. What do you like about RPGs that you want to see more of?
Honestly, I like character moments. I like being able to like have my character like sort of express themselves in the way that they are just they are generally.
Okay, so more sort of like segments where it's kind of clear that a character, can shine a bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you just like elaborate a little bit more on that? Because obviously I do. I try
So
to make segments that are tailored
it's
around like the party as a whole. But my concern as a DM is if I make a character stand out more than others, it might lead to people, like thinking, oh, this is like, this like a what's it called? It's like a main character syndrome type of thing at the moment. What's it called? So could you elaborate on what you mean with character moments?
with character moments, I meant more so like characters interacting with playing off each other, interacting with each other, but also like like giving small moments for them to shine. And like it doesn't need to be for like an entire or like section of the campaign, but like Jericho has his thing where he does like little character arcs, right?
Right.
That's something that and while I don't expect you to do it, it would be fun.
Okay. So small character arcs, moments where certain guys can shine and have more interactivity, playing off each other. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, that was always kind of the plan. I haven't like sit down and write down this specific arc is where this character will like shine the most, but I have in my mind like bits and pieces where you know uh, this character can benefit a lot from interacting with the world more, right? um I've been mentioning like out of character a handful of times over the course of the calls, like, hey, maybe the Iron King will like really fuck with with your character, or like what's it called, there's like a segment where this character might shine a little bit more, and I kind of be dropping like hints and teasing, I guess, of what of things to come. I haven't properly like sat down and wrote like a character arc, so to speak, as to how I think things will go. But character interactivity, character moments, that's definitely something that I want to have, that I myself also want to have more of.
Hey, Iron King, check this shit out. The sick kickflip.
Signis just claps politely.
What's it called? I mean, hey, that caught me off guard a little bit. What's it called?
Sorry.
What's it called? Turn down the volume like a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
On the
I will
on
do
the
so.
voice filter, yes. What's it called? But otherwise, I do fucks with the Sam voice filter.
Yeah.
What's it called? I was gonna say, all right. In that case, down the list, Katya, what do you like about RPGs that you want more of?
In terms of what I want more, I feel based on like Crystal Punk, you've already got a pretty good balance of, character moments, RP, combat, and all of that. So I'll just add like an auxiliary thing of I want to have an impact on like the greater world, I guess. but not like have that be the focus, but more so have our actions have consequences that we will learn about later down the line. Because that can lead to a lot of fun moments, I feel.
Okay, actions have consequences, impact on the world. Obviously, what's it called? I do like players feeling like their characters actually are important for for the setting. Outside of you killed the lord of such and such, the
You're the
ancient
Grey
such and
Lord
such.
now.
Yeah, like outside of just like you're important because you killed or you beat this one boss or whatever the fuck. I do want I do like my players to feel like they're important outside of whatever they do in combat.
Some noble's gonna get robbed blind, motherfucker.
Probably.
I gave a villager like 50 gold and then now the economy's in shambles.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Which this ties back with what Nathan and Rab were saying about character moments, world interaction, stuff like that. Um, stuff that could have a major consequence outside of you are the shit because you killed such and such. What's it called? I tried a little bit with Crystal Punk, like in between, each like one shot, where I was asking like, what are your characters doing outside of the missions? But obviously, because this was, back then it was an anthology, we didn't have a lot of time to delve into, sort of like character shenanigans and influence in the world, as it were. But I'll definitely, keep that in mind, and try my best to keep up with that particular aspect of the game. What's it called? Let's see. I guess Marijn, you're up next.
Yeah, most things have already been said. What I seek. I like exploration, uh, roleplay with characters, NPCs, bosses, etc. I like the downtime, kissable NPCs. Yeah, there's not much to say.
I appreciate you ending
Make-
it with kissable NPC. That's the most important thing.
It's the most important. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I think how you run Crystal Punk and Odyssey is kind of what I seek. Just exploring, chatting, living in the world, and have consequences for our actions.
I has pasta.
Nice.
Nice.
Living in the world, consequence for actions. I mean, yeah. What's it called? Like I said, a lot of this, like you said, a lot of these points have all been, have been touched upon. Exploration is one thing that not everybody brought up during the during this. What's it called? I'm definitely aiming for the world to feel, like a world, rather than connected level designs. What's it called? uh like I want this world to feel like a little bit more like lived in. Um that being said, I do have a what's it called? I do have a thing that I will like just get out of the way now. Dark Souls level design is fucking nonsensical a lot of the times. Like I think specifically Dark Souls 2 suffers from this a lot because while the game was intended to feel like you're traveling a great distance between regions, it ends with some very funky, fucking like level design. An elevator that leads to the sky or a tunnel that, realistically speaking, shouldn't lead anywhere, but it does. Um, you know, with that being said, a lot of the exploration that I can't replicate through like dungeon crawls or like large maps or anything to that effect, I will be relegating to theater of the mind most of the time, if that is
All
something
good.
that people are okay with.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm all good with it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like
Honestly,
I think
Yeah.
theater, like the way you do theater of the mind is really good because you do provide like a vista. when you do that. Like the problem with Theater of the Mind is that it's difficult to describe in the mind's eye, like like specific like spatial, um, like
Yeah.
aspects. But if you do provide vistas, and so I'm very happy with you using Theater of the Mind, and that's totally fair because I think like that sort of pacing can be fun actually, in terms of like giving us a little bit more free form action when
Yeah.
we're role playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that I
Yes.
feel like is gonna be real fucking interesting in this world is the concept of in Dark Souls, like outside the Estus, there's not really a lot of potion healing items that aren't like relegated to churches and shit with divine items. So it's like it's gonna be real interesting when my character's making healing potions and shit. Because a lot of healing items are either weird or all either like magical items or relegated to holy people. My character's like, I'm just gonna take these roots and I'm gonna make something that can heal a blade wound.
I mean, like, yeah. Well, I guess that would fall a little bit more in like the world building aspect of expanding outside of what thing. What's it called? Uh, I will say there might be times where something might slip on me when we go like Theater of the Mind, because obviously, I guess the best example I can like think of at the moment. What's it called? Uh, let's say that in an area specifically, I had it planned for y'all to find like crafting components. I know, like Titanite or whatever the fuck. Going Theater of the Mind might mean that at times those might not be entirely clear of where you could find them, uh, and come across them. And I do apologize ahead of time, and that ends up happening. What's it called? Uh, you know, it comes to that territory of not being able to properly like match, I guess, like the intended look for a particular like segment of the campaign. Um, I obviously I'm trying to like tell myself, hey, just play it by ear. Don't get too caught up in the mistakes. But I do apologize if at times things seem a bit funky. Um, what's it called? Because I know like a lot of people have like mixed feelings on dungeon crawls. I personally think they can only really work if done a particular way. What's it called? That's why even though ordinarily like a Dark Souls campaign should realistically have like a lot of dungeon crawls, I'm trying to play them not just as move to this room, kill thing, look, investigate for thing, move to next room, kill thing, investigate for thing. Um, what's it
Yeah.
called?
Because like Dark Souls
So
1, because Dark Souls 1, we had a bit of RP moments, but a lot of other things, like for example, when we were going through Anor Londo the first time before meeting NPCs, it was literally just like, yeah, patrol, kill enemy, loot, patrol, kill enemy.
yeah. So that's why I'm trying different approach to like dungeon crawls and exploration in this particular game. So it might be I'm just gonna be like a bunch of narration. What's it called?
This is art.
But
When you feel ready,
this is art.
stare at the art.
Exactly.
I've said this many times before to you. It's easier said than done. Don't feel too bad about possible mistakes you make, because most of the times you are the one that has the most shit, if only I did this. While everyone on the table still has a great time. So yeah. Don't question yourself too much. You're amazing.
You know what they say, you are your worst critic. How's it called? Well, I think that's about that for that particular first section about learning what people want out of an RPG. Scheduling, I think we can skip over this because we already kind of agreed where the time and place of the of the sessions.
Just the
What's it
same
called?
as normal, or
Yes, it'll be the same as normal. 10 a.m. my time, 6 to 7 p.m. for some of you, and I think for Nathan, it's like 5 a.m.
Yep, it's
Alright.
5 in the fucking morning for me.
Yes. If this time works for everybody, then we can keep it as such. But if you want to be later, earlier, speak up now.
no, that works.
I'm fine with it as is for me.
Okay. Jericho, Katya.
This is good pasta.
Yeah, like that works for me. Yeah, works for me as well.
Okay. So obviously we can't, right now, estimate how long the campaign is gonna last. Especially because I'm not one of those DMs that is like, hey guys, I want this completed within X amount of weeks, months, years. What's it called? I kind of just let y'all go at your own pace when playing through my campaigns. And if that means we beat this campaign in like 20 sessions, then it is what it is. What's it called? Obviously, we're keeping the session length time the same, 4 hours. If people need like a break in between, then we can just have like a quick 10-minute, 15-minute break in between like the time. People need it. We're going to be obviously using the other chat down in the other category. Segundo chat the boss. Thank you for the names, Indy.
No, I did that.
Oh, you did that. I thought Indy plays the thing. Thank you for the names, Jericho. What's it called?
What
Speaking,
names?
the chat names are like in Spanish. What's it called? Yeah, no, correct me for that. Oh, yeah, sorry. I thought it was you. What's it called? Mm, on the topic of potentially postponing or rescheduling sessions, um, not sure if you guys want to play it like if we're lacking X number of players, we postpone, or how would you guys want to rule this? I guess, you know,
So that's a good question because obviously, so if we go by this, like when it comes to Odyssey, uh we we call it off if one person's sick, but also that's because we're four people. With Fate PvP campaign, Fate Eternal Wait, uh we call it off when one person's unavailable because of the fact that what's it called? It's important for
PvP.
everyone to like be there to have all the information because obviously it will eventually maybe become PvP. With Dark Souls 2 we don't really have that issue because we have a lot of players and
Yeah, we have one.
like and so like there might be like a chance that we could play without people. However, obviously
Yeah.
if
For plot importance.
I'm not feeling well and could we postpone it, I think we should just let them
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Like
I
obviously
think
just how it works for everything.
Yeah,
I
basically.
think
Yeah.
using minimum of 4, but people may always ask to postpone if they are not feeling up to play for whatever reason. That is a good
Yeah.
way to keep it.
Fair. Cause like, yeah, because like we got 6 people. If somebody's just like busy and they like, because like, if people are wanting to do some stuff, but it's like they're not able to that day, it's like yeah, we can postpone. But if it's like nothing super major and they don't mind missing out, then it's like yeah. But otherwise, it's like yeah, if they don't say anything and it's plot important, we just postpone. If the person's unavailable and they want to be there but they can't, and they ask if we can postpone, then we do so. Otherwise, we play if we can.
mm-hmm. Bard, Nathan, Katya, what do you say?
I want to
I
say,
think it's fair.
Oh god. Katya.
the person like who like wants to postpone or like is just unavailable should probably just leave it up to them. Like if they're fine or not with a session like going on anyway.
Yeah.
Since everyone is reasonable here, so nobody's gonna like, you know, postpone like 9 sessions in a row.
Yeah.
Cough, cough.
Yeah. I was yeah. The comment I was giving was mainly just in case of the situations of the person session time and no one said anything. It's like if we're going into like say a boss fight or like a more plot important section, then I say we wait until the person either says A, I'm gonna be late today, or B, they say if they say nothing, we just wait until they are available next. But if it's like nobody said anything and we're just going into like just doing some general progress and exploration, nothing like super major, then I say like if we give them a bit, if they don't say anything and everybody else is ready to continue, then I say we can just go if it's not going to be like something important that we have everyone around for.
Mm-hmm.
We can have a flashback session or like a one shot within Dark Souls where we just go on like a short wacky adventure to like save a village or something.
You know, that's an
didn't
interesting
I
request.
suggest didn't I suggest one of these a one shot with a certain stat block that you wanted to use but won't be able to you wouldn't be able to otherwise.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. What's it called?
Yeah, one
At
shot we fight the Havel Soldier, baby.
What the hell, soldier? Or Artorias, or at least a copycat Artorias. What's it called? Okay. I'll definitely keep that in mind about like potential side stories. When people are like absent. What's
You
it
could also
called?
we could also, for
Go ahead.
example, take some characters from the previous campaign, level them a bit, and you could, for example, throw us at what you would deem the appropriate level at, like, for example, not nerfed Nito, for example.
We'll see. I'll definitely come up with like some stuff that doesn't just rely on me reusing old assets. Because I already do and that enough as it is.
Vorti, that's the Elden Ring Night Rain campaign.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You guys get shifted to the fucking lands between for like a session and have to Fortnite your way out of there. What's it
Excuse
called?
me.
The
What did you say? We have to what now?
we'll talk about that
Fortnite.
later on. We'll talk about that later on. What's it called? Okay. On the note of like players being absent, if a player is absent during our session and we still end up playing, would people prefer for that character to be played by me, by another player, or to be like in the background inactive? Not with the party.
I
What would y'all prefer?
I think I'll just hand it off to you, at least Signis, because I don't see any reason why he would split from the group personally.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, it's unpredictable, but I do think most of the time he's probably just going to be stuck with the group. So I'm going to hand him over to you.
I think
Yes.
so. Vorti has talked about like the possibility of us setting up our own like hub, like like a little village or like a little settlement or what have you. So I think like it can easily make sense to like recall one of them to just say like, oh yeah, by the way, the village is under attack. We need one of like the big guys to like help us out, and then we could easily do that, especially if like fast travel is like available to us. That being said, again, I think we should just leave it up to the person. Because
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I'm always down to control characters.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
I'm good at combat.
yeah. I'd say, like, the characters should be left alone in, like, role play standpoint. Like, they're in the back just kind of observing. Like, for example, if it's like for me, for example, and I'm not available and I don't mind you guys playing, and it's like, say we're going for a long rest stuff, I don't mind my character brewing up some potions and stuff, but otherwise I'd say just he's in the background. If we enter combat and stuff, you guys, if you know how to play him, you can play him. If you're not confident with it, then you leave him alone.
Okay. So you prefer your character be handed over to another player instead of
Yeah.
controlled by me.
Yeah, or
That's
like
fair.
either one of you guys or Vorti, depends on who wants to do it. I don't mind. I would say like if we're in, but if it's like, for example, just we're going about our regular day session and it's like we finished the longest, but I'm not there, my character would just make some potions like he normally does for the party for that time. Just that way, because it's like that would be something I would do anyway. But like outside of that,
Okay.
my character's just kind of following the group.
Marijn, you were about to say something?
I have seen how people do the joke roleplay of other people, and I would love someone to do that for Gilbert. Just take him over and play as you think I would play him.
So basically,
Rawr, bear.
hand them over to me.
Yeah, or whoever thinks it's up you. I presume Jay can also make something funny of it.
I would love to
know
play
Chris-
2 tanks.
But yeah, just switch it between people who think they can play Gilbert the way I play him, while kind of making fun of me, because I love to see it.
I'm not gonna lie, it would be real fucking funny just to see what's it called? Valencia and Shield Bearer just both rush this one poor sod, and then just see like them both like sandwich him between the shields and like, hey, good luck, motherfucker! You've got two fuckers, and we've got a big mech coming for you.
I mean, hey. All right. So it seems a lot of people are of the mind of, pass the character around, see who plays them better.
I mean,
No,
y'all might have
yeah,
fun.
you've heard of a blunt rotation. I'll get ready for character rotation.
Look, look. At this
With
point,
Signis, it is just a blunt.
I mean, at this point, it might be funny because I will if I have to work and we in a fight. I trust Jericho because they have approval of Southern accent, and it is just cowboy shenaniganeries.
It is true. I have proven myself.
I mean, hey, glad to see people are confident enough to run other people's characters. What's it called? All right, so that's that then. Let me just strike through. There we go. Table expectations, section 3. I think a lot of these have kind of went over, and a lot of these are not applicable to us. Yeah, people, if you're like snacking on something during the table, that's fine. Just as long as you don't speak with your mouth full,
Share
that's
some
all right.
with the class.
Yeah. And if you're having crunchy, just mute.
Yes, if you're having crunchy, just mute. Alcohol
I
at my
have
table.
pasta.
Alcohol at my table only within moderation. If you show up hammered to my table, I'm canceling the session.
I thought you were going to say alcohol on my table. Absolutely yes, but only for me.
I mean, I may need it at some point. Actually, no, it's fucking 10 a.m. on my place. I won't be drinking alcohol.
I mean, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. 40. I don't know.
I guess.
Well, it's 5 a.m. here.
What's it called?
I'm gonna get drunk in character so that I can method act.
I mean,
You're drinking that early in the
Yes.
DM intervention, lol. You are correct.
I mean,
I'm not. I have never in my life drank on the fucking morning, and I don't intend to do that now. What's it called? Even the times where I've been the most depressed, I think I've managed to hold myself back from doing it. What's it called? Go ahead.
I was gonna. Never mind. That's just more personal thing. I was just saying I've drank in the morning before, but I just realized that that's kind of just because my sleep schedule's fucked.
I mean, hey, also, it is a serious matter. So, we're no.
We're not. We're not gonna unpack that.
What's it called? Smartphones, distractions during gameplay. Obviously, we've went over this like way back. Therapist job, yeah, exactly. Indeed. We've been over this like way back with Tom. Like what's it called? If you're like messaging somebody on the side, getting distracted with your phone or whatever the fuck, don't. It's a little bit disrespectful, to just like be doing other stuff while playing. What's it called? There is I guess like an etiquette to follow when at the game table. If you are receiving like an important message, then that's fine. Like if you're getting messaged by somebody and it's like a sort of like an urgent thing to respond to, or if you're looking up like a ruling, trying to see how stuff is supposed to go. If you're not like certain, that's also fine. If you're like distracted with that on the side, just don't like say open like Club Penguin on the side while we're playing and like go through start doing
dead
that.
ass game.
Yeah.
You mentioned that.
Like,
We bringing it back
what's
from
it
the
called?
grave.
Yeah.
Get
I
off Minecraft.
Yeah, I quite
Jesus.
literally, I don't really do any stuff like that myself. Like, the only time I will quite literally ever like maybe watch mild shorts in the background is if everybody else is off doing their own thing and I'm waiting to go back. I'll pay a bit attention in the background. I will have stuff quiet so I can hear people. It's maybe more just so I'm not just sitting there kind of just twiddling thumbs for a bit if stuff's like very long.
Yeah. Like what's it called? So yeah, like try to keep distractions at the table for in the minimum. It is like it's more like an etiquette / respect thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Try and be engaged in the game.
yeah. On that note, of like looking stuff up, I'm not gonna waste too much time like trying to figure out how a ruling would go. Like if I stick on something like longer than say like 2 minutes, I'll probably just be like, well, fuck it, we're doing it a different way. Like because I want to keep the pace of the game going, and I don't want to just be like, no, the rules say this, because I never really been that type of DM.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I would just like relegating like rule stuff to like what's it called? Me, Marijn and Bard. I think we're just the like Bard remembers a lot of stuff, I remember a lot of stuff, and Marijn's good at looking stuff up. I think like we should like set like just like a ground rule that like when it comes to like rules, it's me, Bard, and Marijn who are looking it up, and obviously you have like the final say, Vorti. But yeah, like I think we if we set that precedent that like no one else like looks up rules and stuff, like I think it'll be a lot less disruptive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember a lot of rules. I just remember how certain shit works from things I've played a bit, but that's about it. Or for example, I know a bit about barbarians because I've used them, but that's about it.
Exactly. Also, yeah, Indy is right. Don't be a rules lawyer. I know. I have a lot of house rules that we've been over, on my games at my table. If the fucking book says no, that's not how it works, I don't give a shit. This is how I decided to rule it, and this is what we're using. What's it called? Did I make a handle for my house rules? I didn't.
The
you
DM
did.
always has final say.
Yeah,
You did
page
not,
one of
but
the
hey,
Dungeon Master
don't worry.
Guide.
You
Yeah,
at the
go
very
ahead.
least wrote up your general house rules at the your fucking DM introduction.
Yeah, in the DM introductions, I'm just gonna copy paste that, and also it's just the general server rule. That is true. Don't be pedantic. Be a pedantic fuck. I couldn't have
What the
worded it
fuck does
better myself.
pedantic mean?
Like you hold on to every like little detail, type of thing, and you use that to scrutinize people. What's it called?
Yeah.
Where is the? Yeah, just like let it go. It's a game. Exactly.
It's a game. Why you have
What's
to
it called?
demon?
Yeah, game. Why you have that man? Where did I fucking? Oh well, whatever. I'll check it in a moment. Oh yeah, there we go. My house rules. Just gonna copy paste this.
Yeah, we got the part. No longer
Right,
the egg? Question mark.
No longer the egg. What's
Also,
it called?
it's pretty
I'll
awesome.
update that in the overlay in a bit. On the topic of rules and stuff, player knowledge, and character knowledge. Now, obviously, some of you are more familiar with the Soul series than others that are playing this. Good for you. Don't metagame the fucking thing. Assume what you know is not what is going to happen. Yes, I may touch upon certain plot points that the game touches upon, just for the sake of maintaining the storyline and consistency here. But otherwise, don't try to separate your character knowledge as much as you can from your player knowledge. Some of you have played the game, some of you have seen a playthrough perhaps, or have looked up something. Try to forget everything you saw. I know it sounds easier said than done, but this is for the sake of maintaining like a
Cohesion.
actual like consistent consistency in the group.
Don't
What's it
worry,
called?
Vorti. I've never beaten.
Don't
While I've played Dark Souls 2, I have never beaten it. It was a long ago, so I forget a lot of shit outside of just like a handful, and it means I don't remember many map layouts or where anything fucking is.
Good.
And I only know like a
Vorti
little bit
changed
of
up
lore
maps.
stuff, maybe about like a handful of Yeah, and plus we're
don't
not playing
worry.
in the game, and we're not playing in the game, so I don't know a lot of stuff. And also, the few things I know about NPCs are also like maybe 2 or 3 NPCs, and even then it's barely anything.
Also,
Mhm.
yeah, friggin'
I
may
Vorti
not
was
even
sworn
come
into
up.
secrecy to not give any
Oh.
spoilers, so that's fair.
That is true. Also, Marijn, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, don't worry. If it comes to me, forgetting something is easier done than said because I'm the pro at forgetting. There's no one better.
Okay.
I can play Magic the Gathering alone and forget what I have in the other hand.
I mean, hey. It be like that sometimes, I guess. What's it called? But yes, that's like a very important thing for me, like metagame and stuff. Don't do that. I will punish that at the table if needed be. What's it called? I'll give you hollowing levels even if your character's not undead. Stuff like that.
Yeah, you just start looking ugly, even if you're not undead. You just look ugly
Mhm.
now.
-4 to charisma.
Dang.
What's it called?
Don't do that
Yeah,
The obviously we've already played with each other. Not played each other, played with each other. Over the course of a long time, we already kind of know how deep our role play goes. For some of us. That being said, I need to remind everybody this is not Critical Role. This is not Legends of Avantris. No kissable OCs for you. Not critical. It's not Legends of Avantris. We're not at that level yet of like people going sicko mode on like roleplay. If we are though we are streaming this to like an audience of like say 10 people at a time. We none of us are like paid actors.
Speak
We're
for
not.
yourself. I'm a struggling voice actor at times. So me.
Yeah, like.
Yeah,
Also,
exactly. You're not paid.
Thank you for the
I
gifts.
get
Indy.
paid,
What's it called?
mofo. What you
Uh,
mean?
What's it called?
God, Jericho just hit him with really just had to like dude Bard or dirty. Bard's sitting here catching strays.
No, it's been
Uh,
like that for the whole week.
Yeah, like we don't have the production value or to the extent that they do. We're just a handful of people that are playing a game that they really enjoy. I say hopefully enjoy. What's it called? And we're just kind of like doing our thing.
But
Hey,
we do have the advantage, the numbers, and the might.
And we plan for every fight. So
I
yeah,
mentioned
there's
numbers
that.
in the might. What's it called?
Depends. Vorti doesn't like giving advantage.
Depend. I mean, I do sometimes. I just, a lot of times you don't earn it.
Yeah, that's basically the only way I know we've gotten advantage is either by doing some crazy shit or by having pack tactics. Otherwise, if you're flanking, you don't get shit.
Or it's either that or they're prone. And guess what? Signis is gonna be throwing a lot of people on the ground, boys.
Not that type of advantage. What's it called? On that note of like roleplay, whatever. You guys already know me. You know I tend to take my games with a degree of seriousness depending on the setting. But I'm not like
Hard ass.
I'm not a hard ass. I bargain my advantage with Vorti. I can hear myself. Exactly. What's it called? It is obviously a lot of people are gonna say, oh, but it has to be like a grim dark, setting, where like everything sucks ass. That's fine. And trust me, I'm still trying my best to keep like the tone, the ambience, like everything necessary for this to still feel like Dark Souls, despite all of our changes to the setting. Um, but that being said, there will be times of levity where it's not gonna be like serious all the time. An NPC is gonna crack a joke here. there's going to be like more like chill, like heartfelt moments, hopefully.
Small out of character comment that just like sends the entire the entire table fucking like dying of laughter.
Yeah, like out of character like comments, so long as they're not like super disruptive, or aren't like out of pocket, I guess, unless they're like really funny out of pocket comments. What's it called? Like obviously, if we're doing like a role play bit and you hit us with a joke about like, I don't know, like 9/11, what's it called? Like you're keep it tasteful. I guess that's the what this boils down to. Or in the words of my old DM Joe, I mean, just use common sense, man. What's it called? Never forget. Never forget those.
Never forget. That's the greatest
fucking,
line any DM has ever uttered.
Yeah, like never forget that line is a golden rule of my table. If a joke doesn't land the first time or second, drop it. Exactly. Thank you, Amy.
Or like a second,
don't be obnoxious.
Or like a second thing I have, or a second thing for the thought I just had. If you have to think on a joke of, will this be considered too far or not, it's best just to not try it. If you have to think on whether or not you should say a joke, just don't do it.
On that note, I know a lot of us, are a neurospicy, neurodivergent, however you want to, whatever term you want to use. We, in some occasions, this means that we tend to say things without properly going through the, process of thinking them through. What's it called? And that's like very fair and understandable. Just if you are told that wasn't very cash money of you, then take that to heart, because we want to avoid as much problems as possible.
Speaking about that, I am working on it, but I can be talking over people sometimes because when I start thinking, I just start talking, and then I realize I'm talking over someone. I shut up and say, "Go ahead." If I talk over someone, just say to me, "Hey, he or she or they them was talking. Calm down, back off, whatever."
Same here. Also, yes, if you do that, I'm not gonna say that is not very poggies of you.
Yeah. For me, it's like, I might something cut off accidentally, and if I realize, just let me know. And a brief pause, and my brain interprets that as a window to kind of speak, and then, but if someone immediately says something after I start, I'll always immediately stop because I really, oh wait, no, people weren't done.
And I want to just preface this by saying, like, if you are told, hey, would you quiet down a little bit, or would you, all of those comments of like, hey, please mind, they are not done in bad faith. If anything, us letting you know, hey, please stop that, or please, simmer down, is us saying, for the good of everybody. It's not really done in bad faith. There's a difference between talking over someone to disagreeably, or neurodivergent straight up cutting off someone being genuinely malicious. Yes, there's a clear distinction between all of those.
I know, but I still hate when I do it.
Yeah, I mean, which is fair.
Like,
Go
sorry. I do note that it's kind of hard to like distinguish between it, but like I think a roleplay cutoff is kind of hard to slip in at times. I that is a thing that characters can do to one another if it's a very like serious topic to that specific character. That might be a situation. I think maybe like we just have to.
It's a play by ear thing, right? Like it's following the flow of the improv is what we're doing. Like like you do it pretty well, I will say, Nathan. Like at the very least, from what we've seen, like Fate, like that. That's just like a thing. Like you can cut off like a character, but you know, only if it's pertinent to your character, I guess. Because like, don't
Yeah.
if two characters are role playing, don't like butt in or like don't like try to
Yeah.
stop them from doing stuff unless it's like already like a pre-discussed thing of like, oh yeah, these two characters
Yeah.
argue and this character is the one who steps in between them.
Yeah.
Like that,
Like
that's already like a pre-discussed like character dynamic, and all
Mhm.
players involved are cool with it. Yeah, it's cool with it.
yeah, like a way I
Right,
can
no,
think of
context
a way my brain can think of
That's why DM time.
to try and do an interrupt in a polite
DM
way is
bugs.
if you're in a conversation with another player and they're saying something and to you and like you and it's like you want to your character would correct them. It's like you can then do the standard cut of let me stop you right there. If your ally is talking to a person and they're about to unveil some shit they shouldn't be saying because it's in character for them to do so, you could cut them off with the no, 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 and just don't mind them. And I'd say, like, if two other characters are talking, a way my brain can think of there is you could do the raising of the hand and the may I butt in, and if they say no, then it's like fair enough, leave them to it.
Also, I recommend
Like
putting
that,
for context clues. Usually, DM the scene is going to ask what a scene is going to and ask leeway. Yes, obviously the text chat is there for a reason. If obviously, like while I'm running the game, is find it difficult to alternate my attention between the map, the character sheets, the characters current role playing, other stuff I'm doing the GM layer and the chat. But I'll try my best to keep an eye on the chat. So if people are like type something in
yeah,
the chat like, hey, actually I want my character to be doing this, then and it's not something that should needed to be said out loud to interrupt like an ongoing conversation, then please use the chat.
yeah,
um
I
or
would
like
also
yeah,
advise like any out of character discussion or like like discussion of like class features or like what I should do during this turn or what have you. I would advise you use the chat instead of like talk over because that tends to take up a lot of voice space.
mhm.
Yeah.
yeah,
So like if somebody's doing their turn and you're thinking, hey, well, what do I do on my turn? Please use the text chat because somebody's already in the middle of something. um Unless they specifically request, hey, what do you all think I should be doing? Like if somebody goes out of the way to ask, then yeah.
yeah,
What's it called?
Yeah, but for
Uh,
example, like when people are talking and I want to react to something they're saying, it's hard to me to feel
yeah.
the difference between when it's possible and when
yeah,
not.
Me,
like
And then
this. No, go ahead, Marine. Sorry,
and
continue.
yeah, and then if it isn't possible, I tend to forget the comment. But when I try to
yeah,
type it, I am too slow, which makes the comment come over as weird.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say like
like. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say for combat talk, the best way I've interpreted it is the two times to talk about what you should do during a turn. A, somebody in combat who's either that there is their turn next or the DM has gone BRB, that is a time to talk. Or B, if you've thought of ideas of like maybe like two or three things you're deciding between for your turn that won't take up too long to discuss them, ask, hey, I've had these ideas, which one do you guys think is best on your turn? But don't ask if somebody else is actively doing something.
No, it's more during RPs, like if
Yeah.
someone is at a campfire, they're talking, and those times are hard for me to decide when to make a comment and
Yeah.
stuff
Uh,
like that.
Yeah. Especially when you're getting
I
used to a new character, it can be
Hmm.
awkward trying to like get into like the groove of when your character might do things and such.
uh,
Go ahead, Nathan.
I just remembered like something I was talking about with Jericho a while back, and this kind of reminded me about it. Just as like a possible sort of additional house rule, that Jericho said was like not a bad idea is possibly this is more like homebrew shenanigans that I'm just suggesting. Um, the ability to like lower your initiative for a round to like match up with another character.
Well, that's a little bit more like gameplay related. Right now, we're on the
Uh,
topic of like etiquette and stuff like that.
Sorry, I just got
We'll
reminded of it randomly. Due to like the sort of topic of conversation of like in mid battle, and like
I mean, yeah.
such.
I mean, like it does tangentially relate, but we'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
What's it called?
Just brain.
Okay.
I just want to say it before I forgot.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's all right. Well, so with all of this being said, I now turn the question to you guys. What tone do you want the campaign to be? Because obviously I already said I like have in mind of keeping like the more like dark and oppressive atmosphere of the setting of Dark Souls mostly intact because well it is Dark Souls. But if you are like, well, actually I want this toned down a little bit, or I want this to be done a different way, then now is the time to speak up.
Yeah.
Not well, obviously, no, you guys are probably all have something to say. We're going down the list of order here, so everybody will have a chance to speak. Again, going down by the player list in the Roll20 game. Jericho.
Dating simulator. No. Uh, I, what when in terms of like what I was expecting like a bit more of like a sort of like a more normal adventure. I guess is the way to put it. Like like it seems like because we're before the disaster, things are a bit brighter. Even though like the world itself is bleak, and I do expect that. Like I was expecting like a bit more of like a sort of like more like a dark fantasy but with more emphasis on the fantasy, I guess.
Yeah.
That being said,
Like
Katya is very much like looking forward to playing a character who is a romantic knight and trying to like uh reconcile that with the fact that they live in a dark fantasy world, like they're in the wrong setting, which is really cool. Basically, I don't really have any expectations for what's going to happen because I've not played any of the Souls games and I don't know what you have planned. So
Yep.
basically, go fucking wild, Vorti. Show me what you got.
mhm.
Show me what you
Okay.
got.
So have the go crazy and have some romantic elements, so to speak. Uh, I mean, hey, obviously, like it would be I already told this to Katya when she was bringing up the character concept to me. But like it would be interesting to see a more like idealistic, character, uh, in the being played on the setting, like more kind of like upbeat optimistic type of thing, being played like within the party, because obviously previous party we had, uh like the party was idealistic and optimistic but not outwardly energetic, which isn't a bad thing, just to point that out. uh
Yeah.
like obviously your characters were like, yeah, we're gonna do some shit, but like all of you were playing like very subdued, with the exception of like Kiri, I guess, like very subdued, like characters who didn't outwardly express 24/7 how they were going to like fix everything. What's it called? So it would be interesting to see a character that's a little bit different from that, on that particular aspect. Uh,
Yeah.
what's it called? Um, so yeah. Bard, you're down the line. What tone are you looking for out of this campaign?
Well, yeah, this is the same with Jericho because this is the hey, we are in Dark Souls before the shenaniganery happens, and well, with my character,
Did
We've
Bart just
lost
say
him.
good talk? Good talk.
was also
Oh shit!
friggin' a.
Oh, go ahead.
Hold up.
There we
I
go.
thought my
Okay.
thing was being weird. Mike's was going in and out. But yeah. So, like I was saying, uh, strict. This is Dark Souls before the shenaniganery happens, and well, with my character, they're optimistic a little, a little bit, and well, kind of like the friggin' Dorothy, getting into Oz, but instead of, but and also while trying to get home, trying to get some cashola down the line as well, and seeing why the frig they can't get back, which is weird.
I mean, hey, so you're obviously. I guess this does bring up the point of like some of your characters are not from the setting. Um, they come from a different world that probably functions in like a different tone altogether.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Mhm.
Unless you're, I guess, like Rav's and Nathan's character that come from a very similar setting, like tone wise. What's it called? Uh,
Yeah.
Obviously that would mean that your guys are going to, those of you who are from like a setting that isn't this, your characters would react a different way to, you know, to everybody else, and obviously a lot of people would see that as like clashing a little bit, but I trust y'all enough that you will, I guess, kind of, know when, to keep that aspect of your role play like a little bit not in check, but a little bit.
Appropriate.
What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, to just use it when appropriate, I guess. That's what I was trying to say. The Shina. uh,
Like,
what's it called?
I can remember we talked
Um,
about it being like some of us characters will probably have duels when they argue because of stuff, and it's like we'll have other characters who are designated like step in and stop things if things are getting a bit too much.
mhm.
To be the
What's it called? Yeah, like obviously, characters will might like clash personality wise at some point. We'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah, like Rav. I guess since you spoke up, it's your turn now. What tone are you looking for this campaign?
base as like other people say, because it's Dark Souls 2 before the events of Dark Souls 2, where everything's shit, everything's destroyed, everything's dead, and you're just clearing up the mess. Like, I know it's Dark Souls, and I know in every FromSoft game behind the lore, there are shits that are deep, dark, and like there are dark underbellies of pretty much every place. If you look forward to like just interacting with the living cities, and like for example, us going through a city like Drangleic or something, and in the process ending up finding or dealing with some of the fucked up grim dark of the setting, like an evil cult, some cannibal hollows or some other shit. Like just
So,
just general adventuring, but like with the grim dark tones and the dark sides of stuff.
so you're more so like the tone, I guess, that you're specifically looking forward to here is being like a cleanup crew, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm getting?
Basically more like
Hey, clean up too,
basically,
Electric Boogaloo.
basically more like dealing like, cause like normal adventures is like you're going off to slay the ancient evil and maybe dealing with some evil groups on the way, but or like in a regular Dark Souls, it's just you're clearing up everything. I'm interested in like being like new people to a city and like encounter and like thinking it might be normal and basically just all of the twists and turns and secrets everything has, because Dark Souls is very much known for all the hidden lores and shits that you never know on the surface.
Okay. So yeah, so kind of like
Basically, grimdark
uh,
adventure with secret turns and twists.
we're like with a couple of twists here. Yeah. Next person down the line. Well, Nathan.
I'm
What
not
tone are you
gonna
looking
lie to
for
you.
out of this
I
game?
think it's very much play by ear, but considering the party is a bunch of fucking wackos, um, I think the tone might get a little lighter than what we were expecting to begin with, and I'm fine with that as long as we don't like shift too much. I think like a slow tonal shift over to whatever we sort of settle on in terms of characters, etc., will be better in the long run rather than just saying one tone now, stick and then like sticking with it even though it like massively conflicts with the way all our characters are acting
Hmm.
or should act.
I mean, on the topic of like, you know, stuff like maybe conflicting or characters acting a particular way, I do want to say like, you know, uh, obviously, like, there's like a specific tone, I guess, that the Souls games have, and a tone that I'm trying to, on some, extent, maintain, I guess, for the sake of, just not like going into too much silly antics. Um, that being said, don't feel like obligated or constrained by that. What's it called? Like I guess this goes back to where I was saying, like, keep it tasteful. This applies to this as well. If
Yeah.
you know that the setting is going by a particular tone, or that's a scene, I guess, has a particular tone, don't come at us with like Marvel level, like, jokes, right? Um, you know,
Yeah.
like
Like-
like, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, I'm a fan of levity for this particular setting.
Yeah.
I said it earlier in the in this. So, but like,
No, no,
there's a
I
fine.
mean more so in just like like I think we should play it more so by ear. Like maintain, do what you feel is appropriate. It for like the setting, the everything else. I just mean more so as
The
like
party.
yeah, the party, the party's general tone is a little bit more hopeful and lighthearted than and one would usually expect of this sort of a game, and I think it would be interesting to see how these interact. And I'm saying like there's probably going to be a point where the general the general like tone of the setting plus the tone of the party sort of mesh to get something a little bit it more like stable, I guess, is the word that I can think of right now.
Hmm.
Like, knowing Dark Souls, chances are there is a strong chance at least one or two of our characters will. There's a non-zero chance one or two of our characters will get some flavor of trauma along the way.
Yeah. What's it called? I mean, hey.
Yeah.
I guess, like you said, sometimes you just kind of have to play it by ear.
Yeah.
What's it called? Marijn. What tone are you looking for here?
Well, I made my character with the idea that we had a pretty dark, gruesome, um, how do you say it, sad down, like setting
Like,
where he's,
dour, I guess is the word.
yeah, where he still tries to find the optimism and try to be the light in people's lives, but have that
Okay.
constant struggle of like, damn, it's dark.
Which is very, very fair. To have the, sort of like that type of character that, is looking for the light in the darkness, so to speak, which is, a recurrent element in a lot of Souls games. What's it called? I just realized I may need to make the text of your character's names a little bit bigger. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. I'm just like tweaking the overlay
Oh,
as we're doing the the thing. Good.
mm-hmm.
What's it called? Uh, Here we go. All right. So, in that case, yeah. So, finding the light in the darkness, again, the recurrent element in Dark Souls games, even though they mostly lean towards being like shitty endings for characters. But hey, um, Katya, what tone are you looking for here? I guess you spoke a little bit during when I asked Jericho, but still like to now to nail it down, I guess.
Basically similar to what Marijn said. The reason why I'm playing like a really upbeat, optimistic character is because I feel those characters shine best in settings like this. I said like finding the light in the dark despite everything. That's basically what I had in mind this whole time.
Okay. Like that a little interactable thingy in Undertale. Despite everything, still you. Uh,
Exactly.
Great,
those are
thanks,
cool.
think alike.
I love that fucking like little interactable in the environment. I think it's such a fucking powerful like line. What's it called? well, hey, I'm glad to hear people seem to be like roughly in the same wavelength, I guess, of things. Oh, my Discord crashed for a second. All right. Let me just. What else is up next? Um. Damn, we're not quite done with the Session Zero document. I apologize. I'm trying to move things along to not make them
I mean,
feel like we're going over stuff that we've already talked about.
Yeah.
Um.
Also, just I guess to give you a mild break while you read through word, because I figure I'll mention it earlier rather than later for viewers and everybody else in case people get confused, because also some people might have forgotten. Some people there is the non-zero chance, depending on how late we go for games and things, that because even though it's a Friday, because I live with folks still at the current time, I might randomly dip out of the Discord call and then appear later, but now be on text, because at points there's potential chances I will have to swap to mobile.
Yes, which fair enough. I think. I think people understand that because of our differences in schedule and I guess lifestyle, so to speak, we might not be able to stick around for like the full duration. I think people
Yeah.
understand that.
Though it usually tends to only happen at like the very end, so it's usually only for like the tail ends of sessions, if it happens at
again,
all.
fair enough. I say. What's it called? All right, here it is. Narrative control. I guess this depends more like on y'all. Do you want me to just take the reins, or do you guys want to toss in requests every now and again? Like, hey, I think this should happen. Within the next couple of sessions, type of thing. I guess this is not like directly aimed at anyone in particular, just whoever
fine
wants to
with-
like.
I'm
Like,
fine with you taking range.
Yeah.
Just like
I'm also sorry, go on.
I would just want to say, just like Odyssey, you do a great job at the helm, and if we really want to put our thoughts in, we can always speak up, right?
Yeah, like I think I think like with our individual plot lines, we could like I think we're always open to like DMing you about like certain things about our plot lines. But in terms of like you as a DM, I have full trust in you that you can just guide us the way that leads to the best story. Like you've already proven yourself time and time again, so you know.
Okay. Jesus, take the wheel. What's it called? I'm trying. This is, even though I do this for a living, so to speak. Like DMing, I say. Yeah, there are times where obviously I'm not like an expert. Well, at the very least, not in the way that I would like to be. No, I am my worst critic. What's it called? So narrative wise, I try my best to work with people, make people suffer. No I try my best to
Yes.
work with people. Like I am, if at some point I slip up in like a bit of a story stuff, I guess I apologize. On that note, like if there's a retcon that needs to be done, I would say bear with me. What's it called? If I say actually this was supposed to happen at this point in the story, then I obviously I try my best not to like make those types of like mess ups, because I think at some point they do get kind of like annoying to deal with. So uh but yeah, if they do end up happening at any point, then I apologize ahead of time. What's it called? Let's see. We're going through this real quick. PvP. What's it called?
If
How are we
consent.
feeling? How are we feeling about this?
I feel like PvP, we handled it somewhat decent in the last one because of the conflicting sense of it. Basically, my view on it, we all have to agree beforehand that we're going to do it. And I feel like if people are going to fight, both parties have to talk and then declare, like, what type of fight it's going to be. For example, like, say...
1v1 duel.
Yeah, so, like, for example, like, say, like Ace and Valencia are chatting shit to each other and both of them get a little heated, have a duel. It's like, okay, are you guys going to death, or are you guys just dueling until, like, one person's a bit injured, and then it's, like, calling it a day?
If it does become like a to a death thing, I think outside player intervention within like character, not outside player intervention, character intervention within reason of to like either break it up or literally just like knock some sense into the other two.
Like, best way to describe it is if you plan your character to have a duel with another character, like DM that person maybe like before the session and all that, or like before you're planning to do the thing, talk about it, and then if you both agree to it, like explain out a character what's going on a bit to other people so people know what's going on. Like you don't have to explain details.
So sometimes it can't be planned either, where it's just a situation of that just sort of came up in role play, and it's kind of just a thing. You can just also just ask.
That's why I more meant, like, say for example we're in the midst of a role play and like something happens that would make my character want to like fight your character. I might shoot a DM, mention it, and we can talk it out. And if we both agree to it, then we mention it to the party and ask if everybody's cool with it.
Yeah, like I'm always for the mindset of PvP should be allowed within the confines of. Also, I do think that other than narrative doom, where the DM places a curse on one of us and like makes us try to kill someone, I think that it might be for the best to flatly nip fights to the death in the bud and just say like flatly like no.
Yeah.
Again, other than narrative doom, but yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
Because for me, I've had bad experiences with sudden PvPs happen. Because like in one game I was playing a character who was working to become with a necromancer, and he was just about to achieve the lichdom thing, his end goal and all that. He was actually not planning to be evil. He was going to, like, in terms of like being a villain, causing death, destruction, and all that. He was just gonna kind of just be a mortal sorcerer. Other players like, oh yeah, my character is gonna kill your character for this reason. It's like it's not a matter if I wanted to do it or not. It's just what they did, and my character ended up dying in the end. And then a previous session, one of our player characters turned out to be secret agent for other organizations that our characters wouldn't trust, and a PvP kind of happened from that, and I kind of just did nothing the whole session because we had a PvP fight. It's like, because like if it just happens suddenly, it's just not fun.
I think we just need to look at the situation.
To be honest,
Hold
that
on.
sounds horrific.
Everybody talk at the same time.
Yeah, you both talk at the same time. I kind of heard what Nathan said, but I couldn't hear what you said, Jericho. Could you repeat that?
I was just saying that that just sounds like you're playing with bad players, Rob. Like that sounds like fucking horrific.
Yeah. Well, the last one seems to have gotten better. The character just kind of ended up like, I'm gonna be a secret government agent in a group of insurrectionists, and then I'm gonna tell them that I was then everyone just found out, oh, you're a secret agent who's sold intel on our party to the other people, and so it's like we kind of killed their character, and then they're replacing it with others because they didn't want to play that an OD agent anymore. And the other one was just kind of a shit thing. It's just like,
I agree with what Jericho said. Like, PvP fight with any consent is alright, not to the death, but something very important: don't take it personal.
Yeah.
If you both agree, don't whatever results end up happening, or even through DM's doom, whatever. Don't take it personally. don't put out of character shenanigans or characters already hating characters before even knowing them because of it. Things like that.
Yeah. Like, I'll never do it. Most I make it is if a PvP, because it's happened before, it's more like, depending on the context and how much I've actually been able to do during the entire thing, I might be, like, mildly grumpy, but that's more just the general, like, I've basically just, this thing's happened, and I've gotten kind of just to do nothing, so it's like, I'll never be mad, and I'll never take it personally, I might just be in, like, a mildly, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like for me and
Go
Kanto,
ahead.
we already discussed like from the jump. Yeah, our characters probably don't really like each other at the start, and we might have fight. But if it's like, hey yo, you
Yeah,
try
like
to bring out blades, like, oh, I'm gonna kill you. My character's just gonna be like, hey, we cool, we cool. I ain't trying to kill you, cause where they're
yeah.
from, duel to the death, that's something serious. So,
Yeah.
mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. My character has the caveat of if you annoy him a lot and he would do what is the equivalent of a fight, and he's basically just gonna inject you with a sedative and knock you out because it's like you're being annoying. Like, that's the most he'll probably do. He'll just knock you out briefly because it's like you're being annoying. He'll never.
what's it called? Like I think when it comes to like duels, I think we're all we have a sensible enough party to like say that like when it comes to like duels and stuff, it's mostly gonna be levity. Like with Ace and Valencia, it's just gonna be like a running thing. I feel like when it comes to like Ace and like Atlas, they're probably going to like end up dueling kind of just like
Just to see who's got
Yeah.
coolest
I think
shenaniganry.
it's mostly gonna be levity
Yeah.
than
And like
anything
for
else.
yeah, and like out of character, like not in like an actual PvP combat, like maybe an attack roll here or there, but nothing serious. Like for example, my character, because he does use a rapier, even though it's like a replay rapier, but he still knows how to use it. He might like spar with like Katya's character, who's a noble, if they know how to use one for like general friendly sparring matches.
I
Just
think
sharp,
that's
Also,
more
skill
so
sharp.
just like a non that
Yeah,
that might not be like an actual like PvP thing, and more so just like
yeah,
it just like like a character moment, and just have it be like described in the background with like maybe minor
yeah.
rolls just to see who wins.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like minor
Yeah.
attack rolls, like maybe like for example, we might not do this assessment, but we might like roll a d4. It's like we got some scratches,
Mm.
but
Also,
nothing like serious.
Indy does bring up an important point here. PvP fights to death need to have proper combos. If you've shown to have hostility in game, out of character or out of with Tom and Matt, it was the stupidest shit to experience because it spawned out from out of character horseshit. We're not doing that here. Y'all are in children. Talk your problems out of game. Yes.
Yeah,
Like Bard has said in his own sessions, and like how Jericho's saying in his own, in their own sessions, um, leave out of game bullshit like out of the fucking table. Like I'm not
yeah,
saying, obviously this isn't to mean bear with it during the session because otherwise that's just gonna make people miserable. But if there's a discussion that we have, we're not having it at the game table. We're having it
yeah.
out of the game table, to iron out, stuff
Yeah.
that may be happening.
Also,
Now,
well,
I don't perceive us having like that that degree of like problems with each other. I don't
yeah,
see that happening in this particular
yeah,
group. What's it called? But it is something to keep in mind.
yeah. One thing I'd
Uh,
add to that, I feel like yeah, I agree. It'd probably be less of us. I don't think any of us would have beef with each other unless some real fucked up shit, unless some real shit happened in the background. I would say like if you're in a foul mood in your day because of something that happened outside, because we talk like going back to the talking of like if you want to postpone a session, do it. Like if you feel like you're going to be in a shitty mood and it might affect your tabletop interactions, just take a day off, or if you don't feel like you'll be calm enough by session time.
Yeah, either that or just like tell us, and we could be like, hey, that's yeah.
Yeah,
Like
like basically,
all the those points are in the server rules
yeah, like
anyways, as you said in
yeah,
but
like
yeah.
yeah, it's like don't keep everything hidden. If you're in a shitty mood, just say you're in a shitty mood. I apologize in advance if I get grumpy at anything, because of like either because X, if it's something you're fine sharing, if it's not, just say like some shit happened and I'm just in a bad mood.
Like, the only person in the party who will have
Reason.
automatically beef with someone in the party is Ace and Valencia, because backstory reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, and this is more so for me, but anyone else as well. If you want to jump in an PvP, just ask if people are alright with it.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
just
for
checking the
example,
rules anyway.
for example, Shieldbear would jump in if he sees people fighting, but I, as player, will always ask, "Hey, for example, is Valencia, are you two alright with me just jumping in to break off this fight?"
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
think always ask out of character before you dip in, but like I do feel like we also that is generally just something we should just keep in mind. Just ask always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask always. That's the golden rule, isn't it? Just ask always.
Yeah.
Exactly. What's it called? And also, while we were doing this, I'm finally completed with this bullshit.
What happened?
Say hello to the finalized fucking stream layout.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey. Good
nice.
shit.
Nice.
Where
What's it called? Yeah, ask always and respect decisions made.
Um,
Exactly. Indeed.
just
Maybe,
curious.
fucking Vorti, what if you put that like on the stream layout? Just like ask always and respect decisions made.
That's
That
like
would
the
be a sick
quote.
slogan.
That's like the quote for the day.
Yeah.
We're gonna give royalties to Indy for that one.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Also, for the stream layout question,
Mm-hmm.
will you post who plays who in the stream layout or in the
You don't have enough space.
no, or in the thing below?
I'm gonna put it in the
Alright.
description of who plays who. I was like, that's always gonna be there in the description.
Fair enough.
You know, and Mayday. What's it called? The only thing I'm missing from this layout is just like a text underneath my own image of saying, DM Vortilite or whatever.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Oh
But
yeah.
other than
Nice.
that, I think I like this. If you're wondering why there's like a blank space there, that's where the stream chat is going to show up.
by the way,
Chat is
just bit of a nitpick here. There is a very odd fucking space because of how long Rock's like encounter
I
thing
know I
is.
can't change that, sadly.
Just put
What's
it
it
in as
called?
alchemist.
Rav, I rename the race that
Yeah.
your or species rather that your character is using to Scourgeborn because that's
Yeah.
just so
Animal
that it's
people
not
and
like generic bird
Yeah, I
folk.
think it, yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
I had taken a look at those in advance, and the only flying one they had though was the bat, and it's cool.
Particular.
Yeah, which is
Yeah, it's cool,
cool.
but not exactly what you're looking for. I mean, that's still fine.
Yeah.
We just reflavor your stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
it's
it
all
called?
good. Some of these races are definitely something I might use in like something else in the future, if allowed.
Oh yeah.
Because they do be
Raise his hand. What do you have for us, Cindy? Small request, if possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead. What is your small request?
Typing.
typing. Yeah. Yeah. I'm guessing like the triggers and veils and all that stuff is like the next bits down the
So
line.
that's what we are going to touch upon next. But first, I'll
Yeah.
please enter. This is driving me nuts. Hold on, did I not center that? Oh, I guess I put it a little bit too close to the thing.
Damn.
Yes. Yeah. Hold on, give me a second. That's a very easy fix. Where did I put? That is the new sourcebook subscription. Donation goal. My bad. Yes. I'm putting like donation goals and subscription goals and stuff in the fucking thing, even though the channel isn't monetized yet.
Yeah.
But you know, maybe like we have like some like rich person show up and it's like, hey, where do I donate? And I'm like, I'm like to my PayPal, please. What's it called? What's it called? There we go. It's like
What
there's
does
now a little
new
bit.
source book mean?
Just like you know,
Buying a
new book I
book.
may want to purchase. Like say, yeah, like buy a new book, like say,
Monster Manual
like Big Beast Lord of the
25.
Giants, Book of Many Things.
You
You
don't
know,
buy Big B's.
what's it called?
Monster Manual 2025.
Yeah, Monster Manual 2025 or the Steinhardt's book on Roll20 because yeah,
Yeah.
no, like it's just a general like goal there you know, in case we ever do start receiving the donations.
Yeah.
What's it called? If it feels like, obviously, now that I have y'all here, good subscribe, but actually good addition. Now that I have y'all here, is it like too pretentious of me to just set like the, you know, top subscriber, top donor, donation goal, sub goal, like as it is now, or is it like?
That's
I'm
fine.
fine with it.
I
Yeah.
think
I don't think it's
I
bad.
tend to care.
I think at the very least we can make jokes about it.
Honestly, well, that history to like the
Man.
Monster Man 2025. I randomly
Bless.
found out that book
Yes,
came
thank
out. I randomly found out that book came out because of a random thing that mentioned like monsters that came out in it. I'm gonna be honest, it caught me off guard that Monster House is now a possible fucking thing in D&D because of a house
Yeah,
monster
the
now.
warehouse, as I call it.
I was not fucking expecting it. It caught me off guard. Also,
Maybe
they
I'll
made,
take some. Maybe
yeah.
I'll take some stuff from there.
Also,
But
they made,
yes. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say also they made Tarrasque better by improving its one weakness. It has a ranged option now.
Shush.
Hey, hold on.
I'm doing some
I know in the All
shenaniganry.
Center this in a moment. All Center is up in a moment.
Stop It's like stop spoiling things.
What's it called? Where's my subscription goal? Here we go.
Oh yeah, I just realized we have been going for
You know,
almost.
done out of the way first.
Oh yeah, I just realized something. We have been going for like
Uh-huh.
hour and some change, and we've
2
yet to
hours.
yeah, friggin' 2 hours, and we've yet to tell tell the
And
viewers.
we.
Yeah, my audio on my end is it's friggin' trash.
Sick.
But yeah, uh, long story short, I was like, friggin', we forgot to tell everybody who our characters are, what we playing. Like brief rundown for the audience.
I mean, we're gonna
Well,
get to that in a bit.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
going to go in a bit. Because I just got serious, like I feel the worry already. Don't worry. What's it called? Don't worry. We'll get to that in a moment. Before we move on into the actual campaign framework, you know, house rules and all of that bullshit. Last few things to just kind of iron out as far as like player stuff goes. Pet peeves, triggers, you know, and consequences of breaking those or like personal in some level. So if you don't feel comfortable with saying this out loud, you can always message me directly. You know,
Yeah.
what are your triggers? What do you don't want to see? What you want to just kind of avoid and stuff like that. Um, what's it called? Uh, Obviously, you know, we can put that on the side for now. I probably get triggers to go if y'all don't want to like talk
Yeah.
about those in public. Well, in public, I guess out loud, as it were. What's it called? Uh, you know, unless some of you feel comfortable enough to say those now, and you know, so that
Yeah.
people know what we're going to be avoiding in this campaign.
Yeah, like for
Yeah.
me, I'd say like general limits because I'm not really fucked by a lot of things. Also, my request I have just adding to the Veil thing.
Yeah, bro, me too. I'm
Because
also
just
not fucked by a lot of things.
like for me,
Okay.
it's not a lot of fun. The thing I was gonna basically also ask from regarding Veil stuff because my character does specialize in things like poisons and stuff. Let me know if there's anything like you're not comfortable with, like my character, like for example, making or describing when if I kill a guy with a poison or character will be making like bombs, toxins, and all sorts of other shit.
It
Yeah,
could
like,
lend
I'm not.
itself to gnarly imagery, so I'll try to not, like go too into
Yeah.
detail. I guess if people are like queasy on
Yeah.
that. What's
Yeah.
it called? But go ahead, Jericho.
Yeah. Like, obviously, my only one trigger, uh, and that's already listed in my numerous profiles on this. I think I have like 3 on this server because I like writing profiles. What's it called? Like, I'm fine with basically anything that doesn't like encroach that. And I already obviously trust you to not do gross shit, Vorti, and you know, just a thing for the players as well. I know Bard and Marijn are like very aware of this, but don't forget, y'all, I am like on the asexual spectrum, so don't make too many like out of pocket like sexual jokes because I can like genuinely like get really fucking fucked over by that. Um just
Okay.
the fucking grossness aspect. Like I know it's like a bit hypocritical because I make those jokes a lot, but like just again, just do it when it's appropriate. Like, do it when it would be funny. Like, if it's just like for the sake of saying it, like, just don't say it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I think that's a very fair comment to do. Obviously, we don't want anybody to feel like, uncomfortable. I guess as again, the campaign is going into like some dark subjects because of just the nature of the setting. But like, it is not. I would like to believe it's not paradoxical. Playing a dark game, quote unquote. I guess like there's limits. There's lines and veils for a reason.
yeah.
What's it called? And also, obviously with the player comments as well, that applies to. There's a difference between genuinely funny joke and just unnecessary comment. Exactly. Again, timing, time and place is like an important thing to make comments or jokes land. If it's something that you're not sure if it's going to land, then it might be probably best to not say it. What's it called? Uh, um, well, yeah, those obviously like those are like the lines and veils triggers. Again, if people want to say some stuff now, if they feel comfortable enough to say stuff now, then do so. Before I move on to the next bit. Um,
The only thing is like use common sense.
Yeah, we've been over that one a couple of times.
Like that's it.
Use common sense, man. What's it called? Otherwise, like, feel free to message me directly if you don't want to say stuff out loud. What's it called? Are we good to move on to the next bit?
Yeah.
Pet peeves in RPGs. Stuff that not necessarily like triggers or like rough subjects that you want to avoid, but stuff that you don't want in a campaign. Hold on, before I go into that one, in the pet peeve that goes in all campaigns, if I'm not in them, playing a loner slash angsty slash edgelord and doing nothing to actually try to make your character able to be interactable. Believe it or not, these character types can be played if you actually make them interactable in some way. If you want to be the main character, play a solo campaign. Yes. Like,
I
obviously,
have,
we all.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say like on the literal flip side, like on the other side of the coin, basically, like making them interactable. If you want to be the main character, play a solo campaign. But also, we're all main characters. Don't play an NPC, y'all. We're all main characters. We're all like we all have the spotlight. So just
Yeah.
do do something.
What if I
That's it.
want to play the NPC?
Well,
Just
that's my
make
pet
me
peeve, motherfucker.
Just
Like,
make me the party pet. Like, make me the mascot.
We're
I'm
not
gonna
doing
make
pet
you
play,
funny, man.
Marijn.
Damn.
Well, like the adopted goblin.
For me, my personal only pet peeve is basically just people running forth and doing shit and not planning with the party at all and just throwing everything to the fucking wind. Because it's just like, we're gonna go do all this, and then somebody runs in, doesn't do nothing, and now it's like, well, okay, now we gotta fix this. Like, if we're in it's a co-op game, so We gotta
I will say
cooperate.
that I do have it in my head that my character is the type to, if there's something that like seems like it could be a threat, my character does want to destroy it immediately and will probably on multiple occasions force initiative to be rolled. However,
That-
I will say I am planning on role playing that as a character flaw, and if y'all's please feel free to like interact with my character in a way that like tells them not to do so, but also
Yeah.
please keep in mind that this is a role played flaw that I am trying to do.
Yeah,
And
that's
obviously if
fine.
it gets too
As long
much,
as-
call that off.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's fine with me as long as it's like an intentional thing, but no just like random Leroy Jenkins moments where you're just going off and doing some shit and it's just like, wait, why? Why are you doing this suddenly? Like if it makes sense, I'm not so it's more just like we're gonna go for a stealth mission. It's like I'm going to do X thing and then cause everybody else to now be in danger, or like we're doing some other shit and cause it to be in danger. Like if it makes sense for your character, fair enough. But if it's just out of nowhere and you just didn't communicate at all with anybody else before you did the idea, then that's when it's like it's annoying.
What's it called? My character is literally not going to be able to do stealth. They are a giant clanking suit of armor that can't survive outside of that suit of armor. If y'all's going to a stealth mission, my character's just gonna go like fucking
I shall sit here, I guess.
I'll see you the long way round.
Oh yeah, no, I can't do stealth either. I have one and disadvantage.
Yeah, I can't do stealth anyway. I'm cursed.
just-
You're fucking right. I have +2 to dexterity.
Honestly, I feel like my character's gonna end up doing a lot of scouting purely because A, I have decent dex, and B, I can fucking fly.
In terms of scouting, I think unfortunately, wait, what's your stealth roll?
Because I don't have proficiency in it because my classes doesn't give it. I have a +3 base, but I also have flight and all the other shit.
First roll of the game, baby. First roll of the game, baby.
Uh,
Not
Yeah.
quite.
You could have a
Um,
+10 and still roll the 50.
Uh-huh. If I had a +10, I would have rolled below
Signis has
15.
I just want to see how well I roll.
What's it called?
Wait, no,
So
ignore the guidance.
just so I could.
yeah.
Oh god.
Bit back on track indeed. One pet peeve I have, and I know many people can do this in a good way, but saying my character would do this does not excuse any and all actions you do. Just always
Precisely.
communicate your ideas and think
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah, like quietly, that's all I ask. Basically, just like tell beforehand so we know out of character you're going to do something. I don't mind like in character. I'll play like I don't know, but as long as it's like I'm aware this was planned and you mentioned it, and we could potentially like talk about it first. Character will do, and it makes sense and everything. I don't mind, but if it's just impromptu out of nowhere and it's like you could have done, then it's like yeah.
Yeah, like obviously, within how do I word this? We all have limits as to what we can tolerate, I guess. What's it called? So just try your best to behave, I guess, to put it one way. Don't push boundaries. Don't actively go out of your way to fuck over the party. Kai. What's it called? That name doesn't mean anything to anybody watching, but it means a lot to us because I told the story of Kai a lot of times. What's it called? Don't yeah, don't be a menace in like the bad way, I guess. That's the best way I can word it. Jericho Castellano, you're cursed. That's correct. What's it called? All right. So yeah, pet peeves. Don't be a menace. Be a team player.
Yeah.
Player, be a character.
What's it called?
I was going to say that I do have a what's it called? Like a pet peeve, which is like, well, it's not really a pet peeve, and I completely understand why combat takes longer. And I am also like a very special specimen who can magically take my turn in like 5 seconds and immediately end it. But like don't like spend your turn asking, hey, should I move over here? Should I attack there? Or like like don't spend your turn like like you please spend your turn like reading your abilities and making sure and double checking that everything works the way you thought it did. I'm happy with that. Just like I would very much appreciate it if we wasted less time with
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And like it obviously for some people it is like genuinely too much to ask to like, hey, think of your turn while other people are taking their turn. Sometimes your mind doesn't work like that, and I totally get that because that's just like a thing. But we are a big party, and I would appreciate it if like everyone, like kind of in their own way, in the way that makes them feel most comfortable, try their best to speed up their combat.
Like I say this a lot. Like I let y'all go at your own pace when playing through my games. But like it's a team. It's a team effort. There's a lot of
Yeah.
other people playing. A lot of people want to do their stuff and like get their stuff out. Out there. So like just be mindful of the time that you're using. Now,
Yeah.
this isn't to say someone's rolled any audio coming through their mic. I don't think so. I don't believe so. Let me double check mine just to make sure it's
No,
not like actually
I
using
know.
my audio.
Yeah, I know I'm muted.
Mine's fine.
No, it's set to not use my recording.
I thought I had it blocked.
Someone roll a
Yeah, I
die.
have it blocked.
Let me see. Yeah, roll a die.
That didn't work.
Yeah, I have Roll20 set to not use my microphone as well.
Find my
Yeah.
die audio coming from.
Yeah.
Let
Also,
me.
regarding the,
No.
also
I heard the roll as well, but let me roll just stealth again. Because no, I think it. No idea, but I heard the same thing.
yeah. Something I was just gonna say, like regarding the turns, like, yeah, the only time I'll ever go ahead.
Just do real quick to get this tech issue out of the way. Jericho, Indy asked you to unmute real quick.
Oh right, yeah. Please, somebody roll a cool dice.
No stealth jet.
Yeah, that's you.
Damn.
Also,
Well,
that was a
hold
waste
on.
of net 20.
Yeah, hold on. Can someone try it now?
Go ahead. All right, now it's not.
Yeah, it's because my audio was playing through my speakers instead of my headphones. Because my audio likes to fuck around with whatever. Like my audio is on a randomizer, y'all. It's so.
Like my voice or something.
Your computer's decided to take the playlist of sounds in your room and hit shuffle.
He was like, "Where is it? Where is it?" What's it called? But yeah, what were you saying, Rav? Before we did this little tech stuff.
I was gonna say, like, for me, when it comes to like the taking things, yeah, generally I'll always have a plan of what I want to do, and I'll just and if I have more than one option, I'll confirm which one. Otherwise, I'll just do my turn. The only time I'll ask more is if, say, I planned, okay, I'm gonna go attack this enemy, and then the turn literally before mine, somebody went over to that enemy and they died immediately. It's like, well, fuck, now I'm not sure what to do. Okay, what do I do now? And that's the only time I'll ever take a bit longer, is if the plan I had immediately just got undone immediately the previous turn.
Yeah, like which is like an understandable thing, to happen, I think.
Yeah.
What's it called? That being said, yeah, do keep in mind that stuff has to move along, and if you don't know what your, if you still don't know what you're trying to do, then we can just delay your turn until so somebody else can go. I think that's a house rule I'm going to be implementing from divinity's approach to combat, and delaying your turn in that game can make wonders.
Yeah.
What's it
Speaking
called?
of
So,
Speaking of combat, there was another thing I also remembered in
well-
some games that could be cool, but I'll mention it later.
Yeah, we'll get to gameplay stuff actually now. What's it called?
We
Because I think
have-
we're done with. Go ahead.
Hold on, I was asking if she had any pet
when it
peeves
comes
to-
when it comes
Go ahead.
to D&D stuff.
I don't think anything comes to mind. If anything, I'll let you all know when I figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yeah, same here.
Marijn, you were saying something as
Yeah.
well.
Could I have a quick break to grab some drinks, go to the bathroom?
Sure.
We have been going for a couple hours.
We have been going for a bit, and we also had like the ending of the previous campaign, going on. So,
Yeah.
yeah, if people need to go like take a break and grab a drink, then do so.
Yeah.
I've been told
Normally
there-
I would just do it, but this is pretty important information, so
Yes.
Yeah, and since we're taking like a 5-minute break or so, or like a minute break, I was told there will be cake downstairs, so I'm going to go get my cake.
No, go ahead. That gives me some more time to start tweaking around the stream layout. Keep your head down. it's
I
time for
am
it to
kind
exist.
of the EP, so
I'm
let's
trying to move as fast as
let's-
I can, Nathan. But remember, a lot of people also want to get
Yeah,
the
it's all
word out
good.
there. What's it called? Cause
All is the good.
yeah.
Just if I'm just like really fucking quiet for a decent bit of time, I probably accidentally fell asleep. I don't know what it is. I think my meds, my stimulant meds, like fucking ran out, and my body is just going into like just crashing real fucking hard.
That's all right. We have been going for a bit. We've been doing a lot of stuff, so if your stuff's happening, then that's understandable. Hold on. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Sí te llegó depósito?